If you're interested in learning more about BetAngel, its tools and the opportunities they present, then why not visit betangel.com today and download a free trial. So I thought I'd do you a quick appraisal of the US Masters market that we had last week, and it was one of the more interesting markets that we'd previously, that we have had rather. And it all started long before the actual first tee ever took place, because we had the unexpected withdrawal of Dustin Johnson. And it was funny for me because I'd decided that some time ago I'd go and watch Saints play Crystal Palace. And when I went and planned the match, I'd forgotten obviously that, you know, it was the night before the Masters, and therefore I'd probably want to start actively taking some positions before we went to tea time on Thursday. So I put a few orders in the market, didn't think much about it because of course nothing happens in golf markets before the start of a golf major. Went to the match and watched Southampton stuff Palace 3-1, and it was even better because they came from a goal behind. And I'd carefully positioned my seat when I booked my seat so that I was near the exit and near the end of the row, and I could escape quickly, because when I go to a midweek match it takes a bit of effort to get out of town and get back home, and sometimes that can be pretty late. So I wanted to get home at a reasonable time. And half of that was so that I could, you know, start work on the Masters and put some positions in ready to get matched. But no sooner had I escaped the stadium and got back home and sat down at my desk than my phone started to ring. And whenever that happens late at night, you know that there is something going on, and texts were coming in and stuff was happening. And all of a sudden there was this rumour that Dustin Johnson had been injured, and the market just sort of went whoom, and for want of a better word, and it was crazy. So I've never ever seen a pre-off market quite like that, and it left me in a bit of a fix because some of the positions I had been filled, some of them had not been filled. And also, how do you trade a market that's effectively a false market? Because if you're trying to put some positions in before the market starts, that's going to be radically effective if the favourite is withdrawn. And so yeah, it was a bit chaotic. And if I show you the graphs on the Dustin Johnson graphs, that was pretty crazy, to be honest, and caught a lot of people out. And the problem I had as we approached the start of first tee at the Masters is it still wasn't decided whether Johnson would be in or out of the market, because obviously if Johnson goes, then you'd expect the price and everything else to shorten a little. So everybody was taking a variety of different positions to take advantage of that. Incidentally, actually, if we look at the volume that was created through that situation, there was a dramatic spike in volume when Johnson's withdrawal was sort of hypothesized, and then the market continued back to its normal progressive growth in volume. So I think that distorted the volume overall in the pre-off market on the Masters, because there was so much came in the market at that particular moment in time. But anyway, that was quite interesting. And eventually he walked up to the first tee and then decided that he wasn't going to play. Thanks for that, Dustin. That was really helpful. Chaos. Anyhow, the actual market itself, it was pretty good, and I think that it was probably one of the best final days at the Masters I've watched, because the battle between Rose and Garcia was enthralling, and of course everybody wanted Garcia to win. Nobody wanted Justin Rose to lose, but everybody wanted Garcia to win. After completing 74 majors, never looking like he would win a major, he finally does. So I actually thought it was pretty emotional at the end. It was pretty amazing to see that. But the note on the final day was that it really just came down to those two players at the end of it. And as they battled it out, I'll show you a graph of how the odds moved. You can see that basically it sort of swung to Justin Rose and then swung back to Garcia, and then it just went balmy in those last few holes. So in fact, your strategy on that final day, on a very close finish in the final pairing, would be to flip-flop and lay alternatively either of those two golfers, because in the final period, in the run-up to the end of the Masters, you actually had the favourite flip about 13 times. So you can see it was a huge trading opportunity. Anyhow, it was a very interesting Masters for a number of reasons, and I look forward to trading it again next year.